Good afternoon, YouTube. I'm going to do a video on these steps. Okay, I'm working on a 1983 K10. It's a half-ton four-wheel drive. I put these larger tires on my wheels. I went from 31s to 33s, and now the truck is a little, I got to put a lift on it too. I haven't done that yet. And the truck is a little taller, so I decided to put some side steps, some Nerf bars on it. So I got this kit from LMC Truck, and this is the brand. It's an Aries Automotive, and the part/model number is 204040-2, and this was on the box right here. Oh, sorry, let me show you right here. This number right here was on the box. I don't know. This says this is the model, or the part number is the 204040-2, but right under Aries was the A0101X-RA. Okay, so this is the kit, and as you can see, it says it fits 1973 to 87 Chevrolet and GMC short beds, 25 3500, 1500, 25 3500 four-wheel drives. All right, so I have a 1500 four-wheel drive K10, and I did this side already, and I wanted to talk about it before I do the other side, and I wanted to do this video because there are no videos on YouTube on how to do this. This is, it says in the instructions, so it gives you instructions on the other side of the sheet, and it says it should be just you bolt on, but it's not bolt on. All right, and I'm going to go over it real quick with you, and then I'm going to go over this completed side with you real quick, and then I'm going to go step by step on the installation of the driver's side. This is the passenger side. It's a good looking bar. It fits well. It's snug up to the, it's a little too close for my taste, but that's another thing. I don't think it should be this close, but that's the way it is, and I'll show you how it mounts. Okay, let me go underneath. So down under here, it has this mounting bracket, and I'll go around it. You can see it's mounted into this bracket, and this is the body mount into the frame. Okay, so here's the frame. This is the body mount for the cab, and you fasten it up right into the body mount. This bracket goes on, so there's really no way to bring this further out or adjust it however you want. That's pretty much, you're stuck with where it is. And then you come all the way back. I have the 2 gas tank bottle. It talks about, so the other let's see if I can show you. Okay, so this is the frame mount for the rear leaf spring. Okay, and it tells you that the frame, number one, it says that between the frame mount, this right here for the rear spring, there should be some kind of mounting point on the frame. Well, this thing is never going to get back there. All right, it is what it is. It's that long, and you start with that mounting bracket there. The frame, rather the cab bracket, or the cab mounting point. So you're stuck with where it is. So I had to drill that hole in the frame. This is the only hole that was up there. That does not work. You can see I have what is this? Maybe an inch clearance here between the bed and the step with the hole that I made. So you have that one hole. I came down 2 inches and drilled a second hole. It's a 1/2 inch hole it's soft metal. It's not really hardened steel. So you can get through it with, if you have some steel bits. You can't use like a wood drill bit, but if you have some like the Milwaukee kits that are multi-material, they'll do plastic, steel, and wood. You can use one of those. That's what I used. So you have to drill that in there and then put this bracket on there, and then you can see it's got a mounting point back here and right back here. Very tight clearance, very tight clearance. And that's it. All right, I'm going to start doing the other one. I'll give you a tool list, and I'll start the installation on the driver's side. Okay, I'm going to go over a quick tool list with you, and then I'm going to start installation. So everything is obviously standard. It's an old American truck, but I like to use my metric tools. So you're going to need a 5/8 or 16 millimeter. 16 millimeter, they're approximately the same size. You're going to need socket. If you have a 5/8 socket, great. 16 millimeter box wrench, and vice versa, whatever you have. You're going to need a 3/8 drive. I use a shorty and I use a long one. 19 millimeter. You're going to need a really short 19 millimeter. Let me see. Yeah, 19 to get up in there. You're going to need a 19 millimeter impact, and you're going to need a heavy duty impact wrench. This guy goes up to 450 foot-pounds. The mounting bolt for the chassis, the cab rather, onto the frame, it's been sitting there almost 40 years. It's rusted solid, so I had to really get on this, and I had to put some penetrant on the threads too to get it off. Here's the old. This was the first one. That's the mounting bracket, and it's got a big rubber bushing that sits inside this cup. Okay, you're gonna need one of these. Mine was upgraded to those little push pin things, so you're gonna need that. There's a plastic shroud. I'll show it to you. This plastic shroud here, and then you come back to your. So you need to get this out of the way, so you can get up in there and get onto the, make full contact in there. So you need to get that out of the way, and also to spray your penetrant up on the top of the bolt. Okay, you're gonna need I believe this is 8 millimeter. Oh no, this is 5/16. Okay, I actually used some standard stuff. 5/16 to get these. Where are they? Right up in there. Those little, there's 2 bolts that are holding up the plastic on this end, and then there should be push pins, and right there, push pins on this side. Yeah, so you got to take those out using this. Lastly, and these are the push pins. This one broke, obviously, so I had to put a new one in. This is the drill bit set I was talking about. So it's the titanium, and this goes all the way up to 1/2 inch. This is the big old 1/2 inch. Okay, so this is the kit. This will go through the steel on the frame, and you can use it on an impact driver, because it has the hex attachments. You're gonna need a wire wheel to clean up your old parts, because they're gonna be really rusty. You're gonna need a tape measure to measure down to drill that other bolt, and you're gonna need a magnet every now and then. So these are some of the mounting hardware. Okay, so that's everything. Make sure you wear some good gloves. These are rubber nitride rubberized, so with all the rust and everything, you don't want to get yourself cut. And that's it. Impact driver, impact wrench. Make sure you have a really good one. And we're going to start. I'm going to start disassembling and get up in there. Okay, next. Okay, so I got the cab mounting bolt out, and I just wanted to film it for you before I clean it up. This is the accumulated rust over 40 years, almost 40 years. Okay, now just look at that. Look at So I'm gonna take a wire wheel and I'm gonna clean this up. I'll show you the after effect. And then in the port, so up in there, I'm gonna spray some penetrant and clean that all out. Actually some brake clean and then a little penetrant. And clean that all out so that all this rust and this dirt and everything is gone. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, this is the after effect. And it's just from using the wire wheel. Make sure you're thorough, clean it up good. I already, as you can see, I sprayed brake clean up in there, cleaned it out. So we should have a smooth transition. You're gonna put lock washer. Of course it doesn't want to get on there. There we go. Come on. Oh, it doesn't want to go on. This is one of those things you can't do with one hand. I'll be back. Okay, so we've got new push pins in. I cleaned up these bolts. Same thing with the wire wheel. And make sure you put just a little bit of penetrant, little lubricant on these clips, because they're all rusted. So that way they'll go back in and they'll seat good. Okay, we also have this mounted. We've got a washer and then a lock washer underneath, and then the original bolt, and it's going through the bracket. And now we're going to mount the front part of the step, and then we're going to go back and mount the next part. All right, that's the next step. Okay, just a heads up. So I measured 2 inches, and then I put a dot down where I'm going to start drilling. So this again is inside the bracket that holds the rear. This is the front bracket of the rear leaf spring. All right, so we have that hole about midway in the frame, but we need one down 2 inches lower so that we can clear out here. Okay, so I'm going to drill that now. Start with your smallest drill bit so you can get right in the center of it, and then work your way out bit by bit. It's a pretty thick frame, so you don't want to start with too big a bit and then wobble all over the place. Start with something small and then work your way up bit by bit. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so catch up to speed. I've got the new hole drilled, 1/2 inch. All right, I brought it over more centered, if you can see. So we come back. It's more centered to the shackle for the leaf spring than that hole. I brought it a little bit forward because the other one I did, the bracket was kind of twisted. So I want this bracket to kind of lay flat, lay straight. All right. Use the styrofoam. There's styrofoam that comes in the box for shipping. Put your step in it, unless you don't care that the bottom gets scratched. But I have mine sitting in there. I've got the front bracket on, and I've got the front part of the step into the bracket now. Now, there's 2 different size bolts. You have these short ones, all right? Let's focus. And you have these long ones. It's the long ones that you got to use inside the step, all right? You can see them laying down next to each other. So this is the one that, because the bolt, or rather the mounting bracket, is pretty deep inside the step. All right, so I'm going to. This is pretty much ready. I have to put. There's a support bracket that goes in the front. This is the support bracket, and this is the mounting bracket for the rear. So we're gonna get this mounted, and I'm gonna fasten the step down here, and then we're gonna do all the supporting brackets next. And that should be the end of the process. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, YouTube. Well, it's dark out already, as you can see. I ran into a few snags, so I'm going to tell you what they are so you don't have the same problem. Okay, the front is pretty straightforward. No problems there. Just make sure you cinch up the center bolt pretty tight on the rubber bushing. All right, that way, see, they don't move. Then make sure you put your bracket in like this. I'm going to show you from this side. Okay. So there's your center bolt, and then you put this bracket in, and this step is not going to move at all. All right. So like I said, the front is pretty straightforward. Going to the back here. All right. This is where the problems are. So, remember I drilled this hole here, right? And I said, I'm going to drill it a little further forward, more center to the shackle. Well, little did I realize when I was drilling that. Oh! Sorry about that, I dropped it. Little did I realize that this bolt right here, that goes straight through the frame, and that's one of the bolts that holds the bed of the truck on, okay? So that was in the way once I drilled the hole. It wasn't in the way when I drilled it, but it was in the way to put the mounting bolt through. So I had to wallow the hole out. You can't see it because the washer's so big, but I had to wallow the hole out and move the bolt over about I guess a 1/4 inch, just so it could clear that. So that took about, trial and error, took about 45 minutes to an hour. I tried all different kinds of things, and then I finally decided that's what I have to do. I tried putting the bolt through and putting the nut on this side, figuring, you know, if I don't have clearance, but I couldn't even get the head of the bolt past that frame bolt, or the cargo bed bolt. So I had to do what, like I said, I had to wallow the hole out, make it a little obloid, spherical, you know what I'm saying, oblong. And then we put that in. And then the other thing, remember to do, because I forgot to do it, there is a supporting, let's see if I can show you. There is a supporting bracket right there. You see that? This bracket right here. I put the bolt in before I put the bracket on, and this thing is a pain in the ass to try to get started back here. That literally took about 15 minutes of trial and error because you have no clearance. So basically you have to put the bolt in there and twist it with 2 fingers, and then shimmy your step around trying to get it started. Okay, I'm going to show you the bracket from another angle. Okay, see, that's the bracket, and that, I'm going to try and bang this around. You see, that doesn't move. It's solid. All right, so that's pretty much how to do the steps. They give you enough bolts. Sorry, hold on, let me get out. Let me sit up. Oh, I'm freaking tired. They give you enough bolts. I have some left over. Show you what I have left over. All right, these were supposed to be used in the frame, depending on the type of frame you had in the front. Okay, actually, yeah, these are the same size. This is what's left over from doing the mounting. Okay, and these are the big ones. All the small ones were used up. And the small ones are just used for the brackets in the front. That bracket with that goes to the frame that keeps the whatever you want to call it, the bracket that the step is attached to has that supporting bracket that goes to the frame. So The little ones are used for that. These are the big ones. These are for going into the step itself, and also to mount the rear bracket into the frame. And the front I use the original bolts, so I didn't use any of these. So, but like I was saying, there's enough stuff left over. They don't skimp you on hardware. So that's it. That's how the steps go. If you have any questions or comments or anything, leave it down below, like always. And I think they look pretty good. So, Mike Machines out. Have a good night.